You go ahead.
Hello, guys, and welcome back. So we are going to be talking about the US job report. It's coming out in 4 minutes. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel for future videos whenever we do go live, because it happens quite a lot. And frankly, it's quite exciting. We're going to be having a look through what is going on the charts as it happens. So the overview, guys, actually, let me just quickly ask first, before I get too excited. AJ, my dear friend.
I am doing well, thank you. Yeah, looks
Yeah.
like the market is having a nice little rally towards the upside, so I am happy.
There we go. Before I get too excited in my jobs report. Who says that? I must be an absolute loser. I say I must be.
As Andrew Tate would say, a geek.
Yeah, I mean it's no secret at this stage, is it? I'm sorry, guys. It's no secret. Anyway, look, so what we are expecting, just to recap, I mentioned it earlier on in the week, as it is, nope, that's the core inflation. Go on to today. By the way, guys. What's that? So yeah, here we are. Non-farm payrolls is basically like, sounds weird, but like payrolls outside of the farming industry. That's a very brief overview, but basically 141,000 businesses and government agencies representing 486,000 individual work sites. And so that just says, look, from you guys, what have you got? What jobs you got, huh? But it does have a massive effect on the economy. Now, we have Canada also letting loose on the old numbers as well at the same time. And that's going to happen in 2 minutes. So, AJ, what have I kind of said historically about low jobs?
You're going to have to refresh my brain with that.
Yeah, there you go. To be honest, I say a lot about jobs, don't I? So typically, typically, low jobs are bad for the economy. But when you've had crazy high inflation and when the Fed is trying to bring the economy down to therefore limit said inflation, then it's good to have low jobs. No people, we don't want anyone working. We want unemployment through the roof. And that is going to weirdly give the market the sense that, actually the US economy is doing good because it's contracted, which is, it's a weird way to look at it, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So we can look at, this is coming out from Bloomberg. You can follow it live. It's quite a lot. Jesus. It's all kicking off. So it's fair to say that most would like to see a weakening job market. I'm not just sadistic and want to see everyone lose their money. But this is just, amongst policymakers. The labor market right now is extremely tight and may be the source of some of the inflationary pressures. Get rid of inflation. Let's squeeze that job market. So several recent indicators have suggested a softening in the job market, which is good. And that's also why we have the forecast lower. Bear in mind, guys, if you trade Forex or anything like this, this is going to affect the US dollar. So we're going to check Bitcoin first, and we'll also check the US dollar strength. So let's saw some charts down here. Federal funds rate. Here we go. The
pretty substantial dump. I don't know if that's this job got anything.
Yes, it is. It is. It's just come out on. So it comes out first on Bloomberg, and the ones that. Yep. So. Unemployment rate is 3.5. So that means that that means that there's lots of jobs, basically. Payroll increase. Oh, no. Jesus. No, this is really bad. Okay. AJ, bring us on to Bitcoin. Let's see what's happening.
1 minute chart.
There we go.
Volume on the 1 minute. A lot of pullback from $23,400 to $23,200 in a matter of seconds.
So I'm bringing the numbers back up. Here we go. We're investigating. I'm a private investigator. So forecast 250 non-farm payrolls. This is jobs added to the economy. More than double of that was added to the economy. Everyone is finding jobs. This is not good. So the unemployment rate obviously is lower than the forecast. So that means there's more people employed because you have a higher unemployment rate, which means a higher unemployment, lower employment. I don't know, but more jobs were added. Overall, this is not good. And so we can see more of these headlines coming out now. Bad for the economy. And guess what? And Jerome Powell, he went on a 2-month holiday. Yeah, he's not doing another rate hike for another 2 months. And so we have 2 job reports and 2 inflation prints to go through. This does not look good. And he should have increased by 1% when he had the chance. And I said this, and it didn't come true, which is very much upsetting for me.
Should have listened to you, Ben. He should.
He should listen to me. Exactly. See, here we go. Look, this surely will boost expectations for a 75 basis point rate hike at Fed's September meeting, which means we have inflation for a longer period of time. I told you, Mr. Powell, just never listen to the little guy, huh? In your ivory tower there. Let's have a look at this. Where are we at the moment? Say that again.
You should take over his role.
I know, I should. This guy, he can't do it. He can't do it. Put me in charge. It's going to be interesting to see how this changes over the next couple of days here. I think we're going to. So obviously now everyone's like, oh, we need another 75 basis point hike. When the idea was that in September we go to 50, November we go again to probably 50, and then December we do 25 or 0. But nope, inflation is going to stick around for longer, guys. Everyone's going to be getting out of the stock market. Everyone's getting out of risk assets. And let's have a look at how that looks on the chart. It's a big red candle. That's how it looks, unfortunately.
Big red candles towards the downside. On the shorter time frames, we're seeing a lot of volatility, a lot of volume. Sorry, a lot of volume towards the downside. So we are seeing people sell off. And if we take this into account with bigger time frames as well, this is a critical level as well, because there's major resistance along this level. This is what people are also going to be looking at as well. We can see major resistance here before that massive sell-off, major resistance here before that big sell-off, major resistance here before that sell-off, resistance here, sell-off, resistance here, sell-off, resistance all the way back here, then a sell-off. And we've seen sort of the same thing on the vice versa. We can see that we've seen a retest, and then we've seen a big buying opportunity. Another one here, lots of people buying, and the price increased from around that $23,400 level to $24,200. So we can see this is a major resistance level, and this is giving us that rejection from this level once again. And we can see each time that we have been rejected from this level, we've come back down and pretty much touched the tip of the iceberg of this support level here. At this rejection here, we did come all the way into the support level, but each time we've seen a rejection, we have literally come in and tested this support. So this is a level that we could be looking at. Seeing this resistance from here, but we have actually broken out of a falling wedge here, which is actually bullish. So if we can stay above that, then I think we can remain bullish on the technical side.
That's going to be key, isn't it? We need to kind of stick to above that level there. It is quite crucial. If we see continuous movement to the downside, and again, guys, just bear in mind, it's 8:30 in the morning in the United States, land of the free, home of the brave, whatever it is. They call themselves so many different things. Over there, it's only 8:30. So there's another hour until the traditional Walmart. Sugar. Fluff that one. The Wall Street guys get into the office. And I mean, I'm not saying they don't have bots that are trading crypto. Obviously they do, but they're not going to be the market won't be open until 9:30, which is where we're probably going to begin to see most of the US session volume open up and kind of begin to affect the crypto market in the biggest way. So we're going to be expecting more, but I think we're just looking for that key level, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, very strong resistance here. So I'm not surprised that we are seeing a rejection here. But talking about sort of the traditional market, looking at the NASDAQ, we have seen the NASDAQ actually have some pretty nice price action towards the upside. If we're looking at this chart here, this is a 12-hour. We can look at the daily as well. Seeing some nice price action towards the upside, and we have actually broken above a pretty major resistance level on the Nasdaq. So we're looking at this resistance here. Let me just put that in my normal colors. There we go. We can see that we've actually broken above this resistance level right here. You can see major resistance here, slight support, seeing a little bounce before we did initially break below when we used it support, but we used it support as well back here. So this is a very critical level, and we've actually broken above it. But if we're looking at the crypto market, looking at the crypto market on the daily time frame, we have actually been seeing a pullback. And what we do tend to see is the crypto market does lag behind the traditional market just a little bit. And that's what we could be seeing right now, because today we have actually seen a nice little pump in the price of Bitcoin from $22,400 yesterday, and we've reached highs today of around $23,500 approximately. But obviously we're seeing this pullback now because of this jobs report and this resistance level here. But yeah, because we are seeing this pump in the Nasdaq, it does mean that we could see Bitcoin follow this pump. But we have to see when the traditional market opens and see how the traditional market reacts to this job report as well. How do you think the Nasdaq is going to react to this, Ben?
I think the world's over. I think we just pack it in, close it off, shut down the channel. No, do you know what? So the S&P futures, they are down, as you probably expect. I think the Nasdaq, it's weird. I don't know why the Nasdaq isn't down. It may be the case that with investors kind of looking to find some level of opportunity now, obviously it's not going to be found in the S&P. So if you're looking at evaluating different stocks, why not just go for the slightly riskier option that has much more upside, i.e. the Nasdaq, versus something a little bit more traditional and safe, which currently obviously is falling. But I think we will see a fall in the Nasdaq. Maybe it won't be as bad as we're seeing at the moment in the S&P. But yeah, I think a little bit of more movement to the downside, unfortunately. But like I said,
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like I said, it has been doing well, and it could just bring in that, it's not a question of kind of trends or whatever. It's more just a question of value investing. So if you're going to be investing in, in any particular stock, usually you buy the tech stocks because there's so much room to the upside. Or when there's like a recession, you go for those very safe ones, which they typically have more room to the upside because the Nasdaq is so overpriced, or the companies within. But now those companies within are actually, the price to earnings ratio is fairly similar to the traditional companies, but the potential is so much higher. So if you've got the same or similar price to earnings ratio, but you've got high potential, you might as well go for the Nasdaq and the tech stocks, which I think could bring on more of a risk on mindset, which would be good for Bitcoin.
It would be, nice. It's quite interesting. I've been speaking to some people and some friends who, they know a little bit about it, but they're not, they're not in it as much as I am myself personally. But they've sort of been asking me the question whether, we're going to see sort of traditional markets and the crypto market have another leg towards the downside because we have had this, confirmation of that recession. So what's sort of your opinion on how we are going to see the crypto market and the traditional markets move, being in this recession?
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I think we're probably going to stay sideways for for another little while. I don't think that we're on the path to 100k Bitcoin by the end of the year, not by any stretch of the imagination. 12k, I don't know if that's realistic, but I will just quickly go through and kind of show you the overall sentiment that we're getting as a result of this. So average, don't really need to know about this. The hourly, how much basically people worked more than was expected. 75 basis point hike will be on the table for next meeting, and this just means kind of really constraining businesses for a longer period of time, which means that we will see more sideways movement for a longer period. The market is unlikely to go through a big tear to the upside if we're expecting a 75 basis point hike. And then also, I imagine we're going to see, there we go, literally right here, very hot market means hot inflation. So we can probably expect to see inflation. And this is what I'm doing. I'm just thinking in the future, when we have these 2 inflation prints before the Fed come back and actually take some action again, these are likely to be higher again, probably around that 9 mark, as opposed to, everyone hoping that inflation would start to come down. But it's looking like we're going to stay elevated for longer. We're going to have a 75 basis point. It could even stretch to, a 1% increase. So overall, I think stocks are going to stay, in a slightly lower level for a bit longer. And also everyone's worried about the treasury yield curve, the 10-2. So the 10-year and the 2-year, when the yield curve inversion happens, and it's just kind of getting worse, this gives everybody quite a lot of fear, which is exactly what we're seeing. So basically high interest rate hikes for a long period of time, inverted yield curve, recession, inflation, all the bad words are exactly what's happening right now. And
for me, I don't know about yourself, I'm not too bothered about seeing the price continue at these low levels, because it just gives me more buying opportunities. When I get more money in, it's going straight into crypto, and that's sort of my plan at the moment. And if we can stay in this for another 6 months, then for me, I'm quite happy with that. And of course, I do want to see the price come up, and we all want to see the price come up. But for me, it is, I would like to see it in this sort of consolidation at these lows for another 6 to 12 months, so I can accumulate as much as possible. I don't know about yourself.
No, I absolutely agree. I really do. I think it's it's good for us. Well, I guess we do want, because we believe long term. Once let's say 3 or 4 months have passed by, I'm sure they might have done something drastic, but inflation will be under control. The US might then move or begin to move out of a recessionary environment. And so, then I think, again, I'm still going to say it. I know this is really bad. And we're looking at a 75 basis point hike in September. But I do think by the end of the year, maybe I'll push it back by like a month or 2. Not in September, maybe October, November. I do think we'll be on a good path for a move to the upside, so that we can all have a very good Christmas. That is personally what I believe. But like you said, keeping us at these lower levels is not a bad thing. Every paycheck we get at the end of the month, or every little, kidney that we sell, or, weird act that we have to do to get money, in my case, we can just put that all into Bitcoin. And so, like, if you believe in it long term, it's actually a good thing.
Definitely, yeah. Mr. Panda is getting 2007 vibes, the year before the financial crisis.
I don't know. I mean, 2007, that was obviously driven quite heavily by mortgage-backed securities. But I mean, even with that, to be fair, a lot of the $4 trillion that the US Fed added onto their balance sheet during the 2020, kind of, should we call it, I don't know, like money print? We're not going to stop calling it COVID and start calling it the money print. During that time, they were buying mortgage-backed securities. So I mean, I don't know exactly how that's all panned out. I haven't looked into it, but it does feel a little bit like doomsday, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, yeah. And it's a very, very uncertain times that we are in, for me.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's kind of all. Is there anything that you guys want us to cover? You want us to look at? If there is anything in specific, you obviously drop anything on Twitter. We can have a look at that about that there. But overall,
hello, how are you doing? Just quickly, I'll bring it back to Bitcoin just very quickly, because we are seeing the price come down even more. Last time we were looking at it, it was 23,200. Now we're at 23,000 on the dot, pretty much. Testing this resistance here. If we can hold this resistance, great. The indicators are sort of in that overextended vicinity. So for me, I do think there's a possibility we could break down here and have this as a confirmed fake out. But yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. It was looking good, we broke above this. We were coming up to this resistance. But yeah, it's not looking good. If we break back down into this support, then for me, I do think we're going to come down to minimal $22,600 approximately, because every time we've seen a rejection from this level here, we have come back down and tested this support here. Obviously, it's going to be major support. Looking at the 1 hour, we can see it's major support. Going on to sort of the bigger time frames as well, we've used it as support as well. And what I am looking at the moment, I've gone too high of a time frame there, is let's look at the other chart here. So yeah, this bearish divergence. Remember on Friday, I told you that I was going to go short because of this bearish divergence. I was expecting a pullback. That's exactly what we're seeing. Just to update you on that, I have put my stop loss at the entry point, which is around $23,800. And I'm just going to see how this trade plays out, because it is in some nice profit. I'm playing with a probably too much leverage than I should be in this uncertain market. But
It's only 4,000.
So yeah, 4,000, not that much, but it's at least 10x. I think I was playing around with, but it was in 50% profit. So I thought, why not just keep it open, move the stop loss to break even, so I don't have any worries about losing money. But now this job report has come out, I do think we could go a little bit lower as well if we do break this support here on the this falling wedge here, falling channel. Now it is a bullish pattern. We've broken towards the upside of this pattern here, but again, we are seeing that rejection from this resistance level up here because of the jobs report.
Did someone say fake out?
Fake out.
Yeah, no, that's just me.
Oh,
right. One thing I like, Carver Kid, I'm numb to dumps at this point. I am immortal. You have to be. You absolutely have to be. Like it is. Yeah, it's quite nuts actually.
It is.
Either immortal or you follow the number one rule of the society.
Yeah.
Always use protection.
Always use protection.
Right, boys, that is the number one rule.
Number 2 rule has got to be DCAing, dollar cost averaging as well.
Yeah, DCA. You should always DCA.
Every little dip, I'm putting as much as I can in them. This is the time for me personally. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but every single penny I have is going into crypto at this moment in time. Every penny. I find a penny on the floor. I'm walking down the street. I find a penny. I take it to the bank, put it in my bank account, straight into crypto.
I see money in my mum's bag. I take it. I put it into crypto. So I see money in the bank. I walk in there. I use my gun and I put it into crypto.
Guns blazing. Yeah.
Start going around robbing. Yeah. No, you are right though. I will say, as someone who's worked in finance before, that is one, obviously never financial advice. But two, a financial advisor would be like, what the heck? Like, because I've got some friends over here who they work in wealth management. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been around that area for a bit. And he goes, it was also, what's your portfolio like? And I was like, oh, it's like crypto. He was like, well, what do you mean crypto? It's like, well, it's all crypto. He was like, that why? That he said, there's a certain like rules that you're supposed to have this much. If you're at a certain age, you're in a certain category, and so because of your age, you can afford to have this much of like high risk, this much medium, this much, and you need to diversify. And I was just like, yeah, it's just all crypto, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly the same with me. Tom, hi guys, don't be surprised to see a turnaround in the market later in the day. Happens often. I was actually going to bring this up as well. Basically, what we've been seeing recently is we've been seeing these pumps in UK time in the mornings. I've been seeing pumps in the market. And then later on in the evenings, sort of after I've had my dinner, we've seen the price come back down. And in the mornings and in the afternoon, it's been looking like we're going to print a green candle finally on the daily. We've had 2, 4, 6, 7. We've had 7 red candles so far. As of right now, it looks like we're going to print a green candle. But these, as I said, these recent red candles that we have, in the morning and in the afternoon, they have been looking pretty bullish. But then towards the evening and later on in the evening, and I've woken up in the morning and I've seen like at midnight, they've just had a massive dump, and it's turned from a nice green candle into a red candle. So we do just have to be aware of that. You are very, very right there in saying that, and yeah, we could see that again. We have had a nice pump this morning, but as I said, we are getting this pullback right now, and we have 8 minutes left of this hourly candle here. If we break to the downside, I do think there's a possibility we could come back down to this support level here and confirming that sort of fake out. We can see on the 2 hour as well, we do have an hour left. So if we do break to the downside, we'll confirm that fake out. And for me, that'll bring us back down to the support. If we can hold that support, great. We can go for another breakout. But if we break that support, then I think lower will come and test the bottom of this support level here, which also would line up, nicely with this support level along here as well. So yeah, we just got to be careful. I've still got my short position open, and that's in some nice profits. But I'm looking for the indicators to get into the oversold region before I even think about taking any profits. As I said, I moved my stop loss to break even. So we'll see how that plays out. Ethereum is testing resistance again. I mentioned that bearish divergence on Friday as well. We did see that price action towards the downside. But again, today we have seen a nice push towards the upside, testing this resistance, major resistance, this horizontal line here. You can see previous support, dating back as well, major support along here, and even tested it as slight resistance before breaking above it. Used it as support, broke below it, back above it, support, broke below it again, used it as resistance before breaking above it. So it's a major level, and we are testing it. We have been testing it this morning. We'll see what happens. We could get another rejection from this level. The indicators are sitting pretty neutral for me at the moment, so we'll see what happens with Bitcoin, and that will follow into Ethereum. But yeah, we're seeing this rejection, so we'll just have to see if we can hold this downwards trending upper trend line here.
Yeah, absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So hopefully we do. I mean, ideally we want it to be like, we don't want it to be a fake out. We want to kind of recover and hold that level, because then that's, better for us long term, holding that key level of support. But, it's just a question of whether it happens,
Yeah, my missus works in finance. She asset strips me.
Yeah, that is Charlie's over here. I just want to buy more magic internet money, and she's like, "No, diversify your portfolio, Charlie. You need real estate, private equity. You need stocks, bonds." No, I want magic internet money. I want it created by a guy who I don't know. And I saw this from Tomislav. Yeah. Only in markets do people say, "Oh no, too many people got jobs. What a disaster!" And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Everyone on Wall Street, or Walmart, as I like to say earlier, everyone on Wall Street is going to be like, those bloody guys are having too many jobs.
Yeah,
it's a really weird environment. But I think we'll just kind of begin to wrap up with a message from BlackRock, which ties in nicely. Watch my video from yesterday. It's a banger. If I do
that was a very good video, to be fair. I was watching that live, and the things you're mentioning, and it's stuff that I've never even thought about before.
It really is, because everyone's talking about actually, maybe this is the problem, is that no one's talking about it. So BlackRock are now going to be able to offer Bitcoin through their asset management thing with Coinbase. Now, I know it doesn't seem very... Where did this go? I've just lost my... Oh, here we go. Doesn't seem like a very big thing, but make sure you watch the video. It's like, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes, but we go into everything from how it is that $21 trillion worth of assets are now going to be potentially exposed to Bitcoin. 21 trillion, guys. This is absolutely insane. There's one thing that links $21 trillion. It's called Aladdin. It's from BlackRock. You have to watch the video. It's insane. But it could just imagine But anyway, I won't go into it too much more. The overview, just want to finish off here. So we're in a good news is bad news environment, though it's a reminder of how strong the economy is. The Fed won't be able to pivot as aggressively as the market had been anticipating, he said on Bloomberg TV. If inflation doesn't come down, we're nowhere near neutral. If you're nowhere near neutral, you know, we're currently in a bear market. So if you're nowhere near neutral, you're nowhere near a bull market is really what he's saying. So it's not great. But yeah, that's all I want to kind of finish off with before I sign out.
Yeah, I think that's everything we've got for you today. We've got another video coming out today talking about some altcoins, going through some TA on some altcoins. So stick around for that as well. Watch out for that video.
Yep, hit the old subscribe button, bell notification, like the video, all the standard business.
Yeah, helps us out a lot.
Yeah, I think we're probably worth a click. I'm gonna put it out there. I know AJ, you're maybe not, but I'm definitely worth a click. I'm joking. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow.
See ya. Oh, Devon, sorry, mate.